Hi, I have a lovely sort of a church window card for you today. I think this is really, really pretty. We'll show you what we'll be using. Got a couple dies here. We've got the Silent Night expression, and I'm going to show you how to make this into two separate words. Going to be doing some accenting with the Christmas floral stem. And I'm using a couple of the different size poinsettias from both the classic poinsettia and the poinsettia editions. Okay. And here is your triptych window, and this has got a beautiful mosaic design to it. And we're going to show you how you can create a really pretty glittery look with that. Okay, so first thing I've actually done is I've taken a piece of acetate and I've covered it with a sticky adhesive sheet. And then I've used the outer cutting die from the window to cut that out. Okay, so I'm going to just peel the backing back. And let me bring this in. We're going to put a bit of glitter onto it. Let me get a hold of that. There we go. And I'm using the iced flake for this. Now this is a larger, sort of a chunky glitter, and it's absolutely beautiful. But it gives you a really pretty look. I'll pop that over the top. Let's just cover it really well. And we're going to burnish it in and take off the extra bit. Let me see if I can tap some of that off. So you have what looks like kind of a cracked glass but below. It's so pretty. So I'm just going to start working away the extra bits and taking it off so we don't waste any of it. And at the same time, it pushes all the little spots down into the adhesive. There we go. There we go. Now some of these are larger than your window, so you may end up having to do a tiny bit of trimming. Let's see what it looks like when we get it all put together. I'm going to see if I can get this back into the container. There we go. Okay, and pop our lid back on that. And I'm going to put this onto a backing that I've cut just out of some white cards. I'll use a little bit of spray glue for that. Now you could probably put it directly onto the white. I like having it on the acetate because if you've got any spots that aren't particularly covered right, then you get a little bit of that kind of gleam from the acetate. So, but you can do it either way. And I've got a few bits that I would say probably need to be trimmed away just to give you a nice tidy edge here. Just kind of go around the edge and take off any of the larger pieces that are sticking out. There we go. Okay, so that, oh, let's do the bottom here. A few down here too. Okay. Okay, so we'll leave that for a second. I've gone ahead and cut two of the window with the mosaic center, one in white and one in black. So I'm going to use the black as a shadow, which means I'm going to spray the back of the white with some spray glue. Okay. And then we're just going to offset it ever so slightly. Lay that down. Okay, and we're going to pop this over the top, so a little bit more spray glue. And because I've got the sort of glitter from the ice flake, I'm going to add some glue to this just to make sure it sticks really well. There we go. This will take a second to set up, so I'm going to come back to this. There we go. In fact, if you have, say, like an acrylic block or something at home, you could set that on there and make it really adhere to it nice. And I've got a couple little pieces still sticking out around the edges here. We'll come back to that. Okay, so we're going to move forward from there. I'm going to create some red glittered poinsettias. I'm going to go to my Red Glitter Kiss, and I've got a piece of red card. So what you want to do is just pick up a little bit of this, And you want to put some down onto your card, thin coat of it, all going the same direction. Okay, and then I usually give this a few seconds to dry. It doesn't take long. You can do what I call the wafting method. Okay, so once that's dry, you'll be able to rub it and touch it. It's still a little bit damp, but I'll show you what we'll do. We're going to turn it and then go back over it this direction. So you'll have a nice even coverage once it's dry, okay? I would definitely give this a little bit longer to dry if you're doing it at home, but you'll get the idea. And if you want it even more coverage, you can go around it a third time. You don't need too much. I'll show you one I've done earlier. So there's a little piece of it. So we're creating our own glitter card, essentially. So I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to just cut a poinsettia once it's good and dry. Pop that down. And you're cutting through the card and the glitter, so give it a couple runs back and forth. Oops. And we can see that did cut really easily. Just try and get a hold of those. And so we've got a nice poinsettia here. So what we're going to do is do a little bit of forming. Just pinch those petals. And it's going to be a little stiff from the glitter, but it will form nicely like that. I've got one more I've done. Pinch those. There we go. Give it a little pinch around your finger. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the center of both of them. Just give that a second to set up. And I'm going to bring in some 5mm white pearls. I'm going to pop a pearl in the center of one of those. There we go. And then we're going to offset it onto the second one. Oops, stay there. So you have your little flower. Now that will dry together. Give it a second. I'm going to leave that and bring in the ones I've done earlier to show. See how pretty they are? So I've got 3 of this size and then 2 of the smaller ones. So let's bring in our backing, and I'll give you a quick measurement while I'm here too. So the overall card size is 7.5 by 8.5. And what I've done is I've just taken and done a little bit of scoring on the white card down below and added a tiny little thin border to go between the solid white piece and the scored piece. Kind of wanted to look like the bottom of a wall. So I'm going to bring in our window, which hopefully should be good and adhered now. I've got some mounting foam on the back here, and I'm going to set that right into place just above my border there. Okay. And for the flowers, I think I'll use some glue dots here. So I've got 3 larger flowers. I'll put a glue dot right in the middle. Start from the center. And put one on either side. So I have 3 of the larger ones in the middle. There we go. There, like that. And the 2 smaller ones on either side. Let's see if I can get my glue dot in the middle of those. Pop that down. Pop that down. Okay. Now I'm going to accent these with the Christmas floral stem, but I'm going to come back to that in a second. I want you to be able to see the bottom part of the next step. So I have cut 2 of the Silent Night out of black card. Oops, got them hooked together there. Okay, so what I want to do is separate the words. Now you will need 2 of these to do this because you have to cut into one word to save the other word. So what we're going to do, first thing I find the easiest is to take off the little top of the N here by cutting that first. If that's the last thing you cut, you don't have much to hold on to. So you want to take that out first. And then cut to the bottom part here and cut into this part here and here. And then we're just going to tidy up the bottom of this T. Okay, so there's the word silent. And on the other one, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to cut through the S on that side. In fact, I'm just going to take that off and take a nice in there, and then we're just going to tidy it right along the top of that loop. There we go. So we have a silent and a night. So I'm going to use a little bit of spray glue and hold it with my tweezers. Pop this down right about, in fact, let's just eyeball this. That one should go right around there. There we go. And that T is just a little bit turned. There we go. Okay. And we'll pop some glue on the back of the word night. So you can have them just sort of offset and separate, which I really, really, really like. Okay, so that's perfect. Now, I've cut a bunch of the Christmas floral stems out of just some green card. So we're going to add some glue to the top, the tips of these, and let's just pop it on all of them and get it starting to set up a bit. That looks good. Let's see if we can just sort of work it under all of our little bits here. Coming out from underneath. Let's see, about like that. Maybe like that. There we go. And let's do some on the bottom. Glue everywhere. There we go. Let's try a little bit down on the bottom here, coming from underneath that little guy, and maybe a little bit onto that one. And you could even trim these. I've got them probably, oh, maybe a little longer than I'd like, but it's up to you where you want them. Pop them under, just a little bit coming down. Let's see if we can move that one over a little bit. There we go. And maybe one more little accent here, coming out from underneath this one. And up in the top corner, I've just got a couple of little, real pretty little pearl corners we're going to pop into place. There's just about the right amount of space up there for those. You could use some flatback pearls if you don't have any corners. And there you have it, a lovely church window for your Christmas card. Isn't that beautiful? Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget our YouTube channel is full of videos for you to watch.